Hey guys, what is going on? This is your old pal CHH, and today we are talking about Zombie 5 Killing Birds. No, I'm just kidding. Relax. Relax. We're talking about Zombie 4 After Death. Relax. Alright guys, check it out. We're talking about a great Scream Factory release, actually. We're talking about Hush. Now, I remember seeing Hush on Netflix, and I'll be honest with you, when I watched it, I thought it was okay. But I would watch it again after watching some other Mike Flanagan stuff, and I would say to myself, this is good. Why did I not see it the first time? I don't know if anybody else felt like that, but I liked it. In case you haven't seen it, I'm of course not going to spoil the ending or anything like that, but Hush is basically about this girl who can't talk. She had some kind of disease when she was a young teenager, and it ended up making her lose her vocal cords. But obviously she can read people's mouths, and, you know, she's a writer. She's well-equipped. She just can't talk. I also think that's Flanagan's wife, which sounded like they were dating at that point. And she's home alone, and wouldn't you know it, all of a sudden somebody starts stalking her, and finally she notices him, and then it becomes basically a Home Alone movie as an actual horror film. And it's really, really exciting, and you'd be surprised for a movie that obviously lacks a lot of dialogue because of the girl being a mute and she can't talk. You don't miss it. That's the best thing that's the best compliment I can give this for a movie that has very little dialogue. It has dialogue, don't get me wrong. Obviously, people talk in this movie. But for the parts of the movie where it's mostly the girl and the villain, you don't really miss hearing a lot of dialogue, or especially not a lot of yelling. So that makes this movie pretty unique. Hush is great. I feel like if this movie would have been made in the 80s, it would be heralded as a great slasher film. Yeah, great movie. I think I like this one a lot. I give a lot of credit to the cast of this, which was all really good. And I like the mask that they used for this. The mask isn't a huge part of the movie, per se. It's used enough, though, right? It's just there to aid in a scare factor, but this movie's not predicated on just a guy in a scary mask. That's not the crux of what Hush was. So yeah, I like this movie a lot, and it's interesting, right? I don't remember the legalities of this exactly. I think people were correcting me, saying, "Well, Christian, it's not exactly Netflix is allowing Hush to be released from Scream Factory." I think there's a little bit more to it than that. Regardless of that, though, this is very exciting to have a title like this come to Scream Factory. They've been in desperate need of getting some good, well-known movies to their library now, instead of just re-releasing stuff, which, of course, every company does re-release stuff, but you need to be able to bring fresh meat. We're seeing these other companies do this right now, getting some great new titles, or just new titles in general that are exciting. TerrorVision's doing that. Severance working their way into that right now. Vinegar Syndrome's always doing that. But Scream Factory, they've been kind of riding it a little easy, re-releasing some stuff, putting in effort with those releases, but they really needed something that can get everybody excited, and I think this is it. First off, when I got this thing in my hands, I felt like, wow, this thing's like chunky and heavy. That's because this is a 4-disc release of Hush. So let's talk about obviously the picture quality of Hush. In terms of this, I watched both versions. I watched the standard 4K version, and then there is the, what is it called? The Shush Cut? Yeah, the Shush Cut, which is like a black and white version of the movie. So let's talk about the standard version of the movie, the version that was on Netflix and everything. The picture quality on this is a 4K. Really good. Now, this is not going to be 4K of the year, but what this does so well is obviously has a lot of definition, so everything has a great level of sharpness. I thought the levels, the black levels and everything was really good, which is important because obviously this is very much a nighttime movie, and I do remember this being a little bit muddy on Netflix watching it, the nighttime stuff. So that's rectified. This is like a really great like utility 4K, if you will. This version of this movie is gonna make everything even. You're not worried about buffering, and the black levels and the definition are great. So yeah, this is like a movie that needs to be on 4K or just on home video more than anything, because of this being a dark movie and streaming it. You worry about the bit rate of the stream and all that going up and down and making the image muddy. And yeah, just not good. This is not a good movie to watch on Netflix if you're into horror. If you're into that kind of genre, obviously, like you are watching this needs to be something you watch on a disc that's completely controlled. You're not worrying about anything like that. Picture quality on the standard version, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Just looked really, really good. Happy with it. Now, the other thing that's on here is the shush cut, which is all supervised. Flanagan has his fingerprints on this entire release, so that's really cool. The shush cut is like a black and white version of the movie. Now, I will say this, that definition-wise looked even a little bit better. And obviously, you're not so much worried about nighttime stuff on a black and white version. That makes the movie even more crystal clear, and everything has like the purest definition to it. I'll be honest with you, though. It's cool, but I'm not going to watch the black and white version a lot. When I go back to watch this movie, I'm watching the colored version. But that's going to be something for a lot of you guys to check out. Now, here's what I will say. It's not like I'm not somebody that doesn't appreciate that. I will say on the Dracula 79 Blu-ray, which if you don't own it, you need to, there is a desaturated version that the director wanted to have released, and I think he even broadcast that version in the early 90s on TV, which was on that Blu-ray release. That version of Dracula I do prefer over the standard color, full color 79 version. But my point is, I'm not hating on it because it's just black and white. It's just, for me, the color version of this movie just works a little bit better. Total preference, not knocking it. It's really cool that we have that. In terms of picture quality, sensational. Audio, sensational. We'll go over the details, but let's look at, matter of fact, let's go look right now at what we got on this release. All right, guys, so on disc 1, it's the 4K 2024 restoration, supervised and approved by Mike Flanagan. Audio commentary with Mike Flanagan, actor and co-writer Kate Segal, and actor Samantha Sloyan, John Gallagher Jr., and Michael Trucco. On disc 2, the 4K UHD Shush Cut, the 2024 4K restoration, black and white Shush Cut, supervised and approved by Mike Flanagan. New audio commentary with Mike Flanagan and Kate Segal. New 2024 Shush Cut audio mix, On disc 3, the Blu-ray, we have the original version and the Shush Cut on there. 2024 restoration supervised and approved by Mike Flanagan. Audio commentaries with Mike, Katie Segal, Samantha Sloyan, John Gallagher Jr., and Michael Trucco, the original version. The 2024 restoration Shush Cut supervised and approved by Mike Flanagan. New audio commentary with Mike and Kate, and the Shush Cut audio mix. Disc 4, feature-length picture-in-picture video commentary with Mike Flanagan, Kate Segal, Samantha Sloyan, John Gallagher Jr., and Mike Trucco. New interviews with Samantha Sloyan, Kate Segal, John Gallagher Jr., Michael Trucco, Mike Flanagan, producer Trevor Macy, composers the Newton Brothers, and director of photography James Neist. So this is like, honestly, one of the absolute best releases Scream Factory's put out in a while. You can't get any better than this. Flanagan definitely is a guy that loves physical media. You cannot convince me Flanagan is not the biggest physical media lover of all time. This is a physical media collector's edition release. This earns the title to the 10th degree collector's edition release. So thank you, Mike Flanagan, for being so involved in this release and making this such a sensational release. And Kate, everybody involved, all the interviews were great. Flanagan can't shut up about the movie, as a matter of fact, on the interviews. Like, he talks about, and that's a great thing, he talks about every detail about the conception of Hush till the end. It's just, you're not going to have any questions about this movie. So, just a great job. Here's what the slipcover looks like. I think that was the poster for the movie that you saw on Netflix. Here's your case. I don't know if you can reverse the art. Let's see. Yes, you can reverse the art, and it's basically like the Shush Cut version, so you can make it black and white. So I'm interested. I'm going to be interested to see what people think about that. I don't dislike it, but I just prefer the standard, version, the standard color version. But this thing, like as we've talked about, it's got 4 discs. So there's disc 1, disc 2, the Shush Cut 4K, disc 3. Both movies on that version. And disc 4, I'm sorry, it's in my PS5. That's the special features disc. Guys, I gotta say, this is a must-own. Absolutely a must-own. I want to see Scream Factory try to continue this trajectory of making releases this well done. It can't always happen. You can't always have a Flanagan that's ready, willing, and able to talk about his movies in great detail like this. But man, if you guys can get with movies where the directors want to be involved as much as possible, this is a win-win for everybody. This is a win for Scream Factory. This is a win for the director. This is definitely a win for the collectors. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is one of the best physical media, non-box set, non-super premium releases this year. Just like, hey, Christian, what was a great release this year? Hush. Fantastic, guys. You cannot go wrong. There's nothing to complain about in this release, in my opinion. There you have it, guys. Hush. Don't sleep on that. That is amazing. Good on you guys. Good on Mike. Good on Scream Factory. Just a fantastic release. This is a solid 9 out of 10 release all across the board. Sensational. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Hush. Get this release, guys. Really get it. Thank you, guys. I'll see y'all next time. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.